Alright, what's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be going over probably what is the easiest way to make some extra money on e-commerce, and that strategy is selling quote-unquote junk on eBay. So let's get right into it. Some key things to note: this is actually how I first started making money online. The first dollars and cents I ever made online was through selling junk on eBay, and this was my first actual business. But keep in mind, this strategy will not make you rich. It's just a good foot in the door starter strategy, and you can use these profits to put into another online business like Shopify or anything else. But with this, you can expect to make anywhere from $500 to $3,000+ a month, depending on where you live and the amount of time you put in. So this is a good business if you're looking for a side income or some extra money to fund another business you're doing. And best of all, you can start with $0. So the things you will need are a smartphone, a free app, the eBay app, a vehicle to drive, the ability to type things into your phone, 2 white trifold cardboard boards like art poster boards or whatever, they're like $1 each, and a printer. And the last 2 are optional, but they make things a lot easier. So the strategy is, what you're essentially going to be doing is flipping items from Goodwills and thrift stores. Now, I personally always found that Goodwills were better, but this could just be biased, or it might just be the stores around me were like that. But I always seem to find better, more profitable items from the Goodwill. So an example of this would just be, say you go and buy any item from Goodwill for $5, and then you go sell it on eBay for $30. So after eBay and PayPal fees, you make about a $20 profit. So it's nothing huge, but with multiple items, you can see how this can add up, and it really doesn't take any mental or physical effort at all. So these are some examples. This is a screenshot that I uploaded on my Instagram a while ago. All these items I found were under $10. I mean, these aren't crazy profits, but it's easy money. I mean, most of the items you're going to find are going to be $20 to $30 profits. These are best case scenario, but still, you'll come across items like these fairly often. You'd be surprised, and turning $5, $10 into $75, $130, $140, and $105. I mean, as I said, it's not a huge amount of money, but it's a high percentage gain. I mean, what else are you gonna do with that $5 or $10? Like go blow it on coffee or something. So it's a better way to use your extra money, extra few dollars, to multiply it, and then you can use this money to put into another business or anything you want to do. Now, I don't do this anymore. I started it in January of 2013, and I did this for about 2 years. And, I don't do it anymore because it's not really worth it for me anymore. But as I said, it's a good way to start. And just to prove that you can make good money from this beyond this picture, I'll bring up my eBay account real quick. So we're in eBay, and you can see, here's me, here's my account, 545 feedback, nothing huge. And if you scroll down, you'll see that my total sales were 1,006 transactions and about $36,000 in sales, and that was over like a 2-year span, so it's not like ridiculous. I mean, the profit margin's like 90% almost the items you're going to get. But still, that's not like a lot of money, but it can help you out to fund other businesses, which is exactly what I use this money for. So back to the presentation. So how can you start with $0? Because you may be asking, well, you said you can start with no money, but you have to spend money to go buy these items and even gas and stuff like that. Well, I actually started by selling an old trumpet in my closet, and I liked being able to make this money from my phone, and this led me to selling other junk around my house, and I just now noticed that typo on the screen, so just ignore that. And after I sold the junk around my house, this gave me a few $100s. And as I said, I liked the idea of getting money sent to my phone, so I looked online of how I could continue doing this. And then I came across thrift store flipping. And what I did from there is I used my few hundred, and I just essentially reinvested it into other quote-unquote junk items and started flipping them to grow my small amount of money. So if you need money to start, you can just look around your house, find some junk, and sell it to start. So you can literally start with no money as long as you have a smartphone and an app. And you may be saying, well, what if you don't have any junk to sell? Trust me, you do. If you look hard enough, everyone probably has at least $1,000 to $2,000 worth of, crap that they're not using that's just sitting around their house. So determining what you will sell on eBay, this part is extremely easy, and if you just follow exactly what I'm telling you to do, you won't have any problems. I mean, you can make this a lot more complicated than it is, but really all you're doing is you're looking for items that catch your eye, and you search for the item in question on the eBay app. You go to filters, you go to show more, and you swipe right on sold items. What this will do is it will show you how many times that exact item has sold recently on eBay and what price it sold for. And that's pretty much all the information you need. If you see an item that's priced at $5 in Goodwill and it's selling on eBay for $30 consistently, like say 5 or 6 have sold in the past month, then that's probably a good item to buy. I mean, this is really simple. This is just basic math. So a couple rules when you're checking the items is you want items that have sold multiple times in the recent past, because you don't want to end up sitting on junk for like 6 months, because it stacks up. Trust me. In the beginning, I wasn't as good with in the beginning, I didn't really have a system or any rules that I was following. I was just kind of buying things that, I was buying things that were listed high on eBay, but I wasn't checking if they were actually sold, or I was buying something that sold once in like 6 months, and the junk just stacks up. So you don't really want to do that. My personal rules for profit margins were at least $10 profit for an item, no less. Like, I'm not going to spend money to make like $3-4. To me, that wasn't worth it. I mean, if you want to get a bunch of those items, I mean, that's fine. I just didn't feel like messing with that. But the $10 rule only applies if it is at least 3 times your money. Like, for example, I would not buy a $40 item to sell it for $50. With fees, you would end up making nothing. So what I want you to focus on is more on the percentage gain of the item, not the dollar gain itself. A $2 item that sells for $25 is better than a $25 item that sells for $50. 1, because you're going to lose less money in eBay and PayPal fees, and 2, it takes up less of your buying power so you can buy more items. I normally always wanted to at least triple my money when I bought an item, but if you come across something that's priced at $50 and that item sells for $100 on eBay, it may be worth it as long as it sells fast and you're not sitting on it for months. Because if it's something like that, you can always take that $50 and buy a bunch of $5 items that will sell faster, and it will add up to the $50 profit way before that big item would sell. Now, this comes down to personal preference, but I always liked high percentage gain items that sold within the first 2 months. So some things to remember is some items will sell in a few days or even a few hours, but most will take a few weeks or maybe even a month or 2. So you need to keep inventory rolling in and out, keeping in mind what you buy today will make you money in the next month on average. So always keep some of your profits aside to buy more items, because if you can't buy more items, your mini business you have going here is just going to putter and stall out. So eBay fees are about 10% and PayPal is about 3%. So be sure to factor this in before you're buying your items. A few items to keep an eye out for that were hot selling when I was doing this are electronics, like for some reason VCRs were hot selling. I don't know who still watches VHS tapes, but for some reason VCRs sold well. Pretty much any electronics, they're not always going to be good, but certain ones are worth a lot, so it's worth looking up pretty much any electronics you see in good condition. If you can find new items that are for sale as used in the store, and I know some Goodwills, they actually have like a new goods section, you just want to stay away from that, you're not going to make any profit. But sometimes you can find, like, for instance, there was a time where I found a brand new coffee maker in with the kitchen appliances, and it was being sold as used, but I opened up the box and all the plastic wrap and everything was still on it, so it was brand new. So you can go and resell that as brand new on eBay, and brand new is going to get you a lot more money. Hair care products like hot rollers and blow dryers and things like that, you can usually They're not going to be the biggest profit margin, but you can usually triple your money on them because they're usually only like $5. And just look for ones that are in good condition or like new. And then kitchen appliances, not all of them, but some of them are going to be good. Like certain coffee makers, and one time I found this Margaritaville margarita maker, and it caught my eye because it was bright green, and so I went and looked at it, and that ended up being a pretty big profit. They were selling it for like $15, and it was worth like $150 on eBay. So it was a good percentage gain. And then those massagers, as you saw in the example, that was a higher brand massager from the example. Most of the massagers, when I was doing it, were worth like 20 to 40. I'm not sure if they're still the same now. I'm sure they are, though, because most of the stuff throughout the 2 years I was doing this on the side, everything pretty much stayed the same. There wasn't really, when it came to these items, all the prices and profits stayed about the same. So some extra tips: use calculated shipping. Weigh your item and let the shipping be automated, so don't risk losing money on shipping. Don't sit here and play a guessing game like, I think this is going to cost $10 to ship, and then it ends up costing $20 and you just lost $10. Like, don't play those guessing games. Just weigh your item before you list it and do calculated shipping. And then print your labels online from eBay.com because you'll get a discount on every label. Take multiple photos and preferably use the backdrop, like I said, with the trifold, art boards. And you can also order free boxes from the USPS site, so sometimes this is helpful if you don't have a lot of boxes lying around and you don't want to go buy some from Walmart and stuff. Actually, I don't recommend buying any boxes at all. You can go to any department stores pretty much and just ask for their boxes because they're just going to throw them out anyway. So, and then ship items right away because good feedback's pretty crucial. If you stay at 100% positive feedback, it's more likely that people are going to buy from you. And there was a point I kind of switched on and off between having a top rated account and not having a top rated account. But when I had a top rated account, I always sold things faster and I got a boost to my SEO within eBay. Like, your listings showed up higher. So it's always good to ship your items right away and, have good customer service practices and things like that. So obviously there's some downsides to this, and I'm not going to sit here and pump this up and not share the downsides. The first thing is that it's not scalable. There's no really way to scale this up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, considering you're just buying items from thrift stores. And it's also geo-limited, like limited to your area. By this, I mean, depending on where you live, you may have less Goodwills or thrift stores, or they may restock less. But I did do this in a very small state, so if it worked here and you're near a big city, I'm sure you'll be able to make way more than I did. And the third downside is that it's somewhat chance dependent, and by that I mean what items are in the store. Like, some days you'll just have really profitable runs, and other days you just won't. So this isn't something you'd want to have as your only source of income or anything like that. This is just the way you can make some income on the side to preferably put into some other type of online business. Because I know a lot of people will leave in the comment or ask a question, well, can I start a Shopify store with $50? Or, is $50 or $100 enough to run ads? And I mean, it kind of is, but unless you're already an expert, you're most likely going to fail right away because most people fail in the beginning. Everyone fails in the beginning. So you're most likely going to lose that money, and then you're not going to have any more, and then you're going to give up. Like, you can't go into it with a last stand mindset of, I have $50, it's make it or break it right here. Like, no, dude, just go get some more money. It's not that hard to take that $50 and turn it into more, especially with this strategy. And there's many other ways you can do it too. This is just one of them. Like, the problem isn't that, I only have $50 to start my business. The real problem is that you're in the mindset that you can't get more than $50. Like, get another job, do something. Like, if you really want to succeed with business, you're going to have more money to play around with than $50 to $100. That's just the way it goes. So this is one strategy you can use to fund another business. or just make side income just for the heck of it. So in summary, you're just going to find local Goodwills and thrift stores. When I did it, I had about a 2-hour loop where I would hit 5 or 6 stores. Do the loop as much as you want, once a week, 3 times a week, hell, every day if you want to, if they restock that much. This isn't going to make you insane money, but it will get you started, it'll build confidence, and it'll give you money to do other things. So it's a good thing to start, if, as I said, if you don't have a lot of extra money or you just want some extra money. This is something that pretty much anybody can do, and it really only takes a few hours out of, one day of the week. So that's pretty much it. There's really nothing I can go into that will overcomplicate this extremely simple strategy. The only thing stopping you from making money with this is making the decision to go out and do it. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.